Hello and welcome to another episode of Geek-Men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds. I'm Dustin.
And I'm Arnold Braunschweiger. No, that's not right. I'm Zombie.
Oh boy. So how's it going, man?
Better. It's going better.
Mm-hmm.
Been a rough couple of weeks, but I'm back. Had to go on a side quest last week, so everything's cool though. I'm back. Hey, Jessica. How you doing tonight, Jessica? All right, let me change my name again. I couldn't help myself after the one
I'm
of the
back.
What's that?
Oh, nothing. I just what you were saying earlier. Doing good,
yeah.
she says.
Good.
So did you get anything in the box? Anything new? Anything?
Oh, okay. I did. This is kind of the last of my birthday goodies because it came the Saturday after our last show.
Mm-hmm.
I go, damn! It couldn't get here one day sooner.
Right.
I'm just gonna show it to you.
What on? Hang on. Let me. Solo layout. There we go.
There
Samurai 4. Oh, dude, that's sick.
Yeah.
Dude.
This awesome artwork on the back.
That's so cool.
Which I was staring when I opened this. I was staring at that artwork, going, "Oh, that's cool! That looks like the silhouettes of the other turtles and everything that they made." I'm trying to count them, and I'm reading what it says on the back, and then I opened the box, and it had this cover over the figure, and there's the art. I'm going, "Oh, that's so cool!" Like, yes,
that's so awesome.
I did open him up and play around with him for a little bit. I'm not gonna open him up here though because I haven't had time to
clear off shelf space
up or anything. So when I get space, I want to set him up. So I got him. I don't have the turtles. I missed because they're not calling them, what we all know that they're based off of. I missed Spring, which was the blue one.
Yeah, Leonardo.
Right. So I missed the pre-order on him. So I don't have the turtles, but I had to get the rat because I wanted to use him for the representation for the Eastern Zodiac animal warriors that I'm putting together. Which, last time I showed off the tiger that I got from the Maestro Union Foray Fury, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry, guys. So, but no, I got him. He's cool. He's bigger than I expected. Like when you hear people talk about these for this wave, they're like, "Oh, I wish they were bigger." Let me tell you something. I saw a picture. Somebody has Spring and the Mezco Leonardo, and the Mezco Leonardo is only like a head, like the figurehead, taller than Spring. So, like, even the Mezco ones that people are loving, the Mezco Ninja Turtles, this wave ain't much smaller than that. I mean,
I think it goes in scale too. So
yeah, and it's great. It works perfect for what I wanted it for because a rat's going to be smaller than a tiger, whatever. So I have two down officially that I want to use for that idea. And he comes with a lot of stuff. I know you can't hardly really see it, but he's got like that canister. That's cool.
Yeah.
The hat's magnetic. There's a hidden magnet in the head. Like I'm pointing all over this thing.
Yeah, I see it on top of his head too.
Yeah, he's got like this shoulder like straw type of thing. The tail, when this was first marketed, they were going to say that the tail would be segmented joints, but it's actually, they couldn't pull that off because the joints, the ball sockets they were going to use would have been too small, and they were worried about breakage, which, I mean, let's face it, people are not gentle with their toys. They're right. They would have had a lot of breakage issues. So it's bendy wire. It is bendy wire. And this scroll is the star of the accessories. I've got to tell you, I've got to take this out at least and show you. It's cloth. See, is it upside down? Yep, it's upside down. Okay, there we go.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's so cool. And when you get to the end, it's all like tattered and burnt and stuff. Like there's an art form that's lost to the ages. Like they'll never know.
Love it.
But it's so cool. And the back's got this neat little, like, I don't know, quilts type of design.
Yeah.
I mean, look, let me see how close I can get. There's pattern. There's a pattern in it.
Yeah.
It's not just like polka dots. But yeah, no, this is really cool. And he comes with an attachment that you can put on his back that he can hold this scroll and the ooze canister, bottle, whatever it is. It's got 2 loops so that you can put both of them in there, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The only gripe that I really have about it is his staff, his cane staff, is like really rubbery. Like it's really bendy, and I don't really like that part of it. I guess because I got used to handling like 3D printed parts, and they don't really give. But the hands, I popped out some of the hands. The hands are great. They come out easy as long as you don't pull on the wrong part. Looking at you, Legions collectors. You gorilla grip mother. No, I'm sorry. Stop breaking your wrist pegs. No, I don't have any fear of doing that with him. He moves great. The articulation in the feet, I wish I could put it on camera and show you, but it's really genius how they did it. Like each segment doesn't have an articulation point in it, but it doesn't need to because of the way that they articulated it. He's got like this mid-foot break, and there's a joint there, and it swivels this way, and you can do it up and down or whatever, and then it doesn't break again until you get to his knee. So he's got that like backwards dog leg thing going on.
Yeah.
But it totally works with the articulation that they gave him. I couldn't have asked for anything better with that. More articulation in that particular part of the leg because of what it is. I don't think he'd been able to stand up on
right.
So I think what they did, design-wise and function, I think it's perfect. I think it works. It looks fantastic. It's a great sculpt. If I did have one more gripe, and it's because now we're all spoiled to this because of Mezco, and now the Horsemen are doing it with the soft goods, is putting wire in the soft goods.
Yeah.
There's no wire in his soft goods, so how it lays is just how it lays.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Other than the cane and the no wire in the soft goods, I love it. It's a great looking figure. It's going to fit perfect for what I want to do with it. I'm happy about it. I'm going to shut up about it now.
Jessica says that art is really cool.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It is. I love it. I wish I knew who the artist was. I'd give him credit, but I don't see a name on there on the package or anything. And I mean, it's a third-party company as far as I know. And I
think so too.
Third-party people.
Peeper. I don't know. Third-party peepers.
Third-party peeper. Third-party people that are making stuff like this.
Dude,
give them a chance because some of it's really damn good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I took a risk on the same thing. With
let me get you on the screen. Hang on.
I took a risk with the same thing with this Thompson Art Toys Vegeta head.
Hang on.
This I got this a while back, but this is pretty cool. This is also a third party, but it fits on the head of all the Vegetas, basically.
Yeah. So you like your figure arts Vegetas?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a box of third-party heads.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is really cool.
Yeah. So I think that's really fun, but I don't know.
So Jessica says, let me bring her up. I got a box today.
Ooh.
So, and when she also says, what was in my box wasn't as cool as that art. Though.
Well,
so what did you get, Jessica? Share with us. You can't just say you got something and not say what it is, unless you can't say. So I completely understand.
Yeah, if it's no. I
if it's on the risque side, you don't have to share. That's private. We understand.
Yeah. I doubt she would have mentioned it if that was the case. Well, maybe. Who knows?
Hey, you never know.
You never know.
I'm not knocking anything. What you like is what you like.
I think she got. I saw it on her stories. She shared. She got record. And some shirts. I think. Nice. I think that was what was coming. Last I talked to her about that.
That's cool. I mean, hey, that's art. You know.
Heck yeah.
All for it.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Oh, wait. There was a hoodie and 2 hats, and my signed Jeremy Renner album arrived the other day.
Yeah, that's it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
I'm waiting on a shirt that I ordered too. They said 10 to 12 weeks. 10 to 12 weeks. I mean, I'm getting it for free, so I can't complain. It's well, no, I'll save that for another show. Yeah. You'll know it when you see it.
You'll know it when you see it. All right. So, yeah, she did. She said she sent me a picture of it. Yep, and she did, and it is awesome. Quite cool. I haven't actually listened to any of it yet, though. Jeremy Renner stuff, anyway. But I'm behind on my music listening. That was one thing that Kurt always did. He was always like, "Oh, hey, have you checked out this band? Or have you checked out this band?" And it's just like half the time it was like stuff that he would recommend and whatnot. Now it's just like, hey, I listen to the same 3 things that I've done my whole life. So.
Well, I mean, you listen to what works, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I definitely have moods. Yeah. So it's like, okay, so I'll admit that I have like emo days where it's just like, all right, yeah, you know, I'm feeling this song. I'm feeling the groove of this song. And it's just like, it's like some completely ridiculous artist that shouldn't even be named probably. And it's just like, oh, I'm ashamed that I liked that song. And it's just like, oh, well, whatever.
No, you like what you like.
Yeah. That's exactly how I feel about it. But I mainly listen to Reliant K, so that's my jam.
I mean, hey, if I'm working on stuff in my room here, and I'm not like, I don't have, you know, an assignment on the TV playing or whatever. It's I've got it like on YouTube, and I've looked up like epic orchestra music and stuff because it can just play in the background.
Yeah,
and I don't have to do anything. I don't have to touch anything. It's like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever it is, you know. Yep. And I'm good to go, and it sounds cool.
Yeah, dude. My buddy Brian and I used to listen to. We had a station on Pandora that would only play John Williams music. So we would be hearing stuff from Harry Potter. We would hearing stuff from Jaws. We would hear stuff from Star Wars just all day. And that's what we literally hammered out emails to all day. We'd be like, ooh, love this song. Type. Oh. My kids are sick of hearing Jeremy Renner's music. Well, tell them to get over it.
They'll get used to it.
Yeah. Well, and I didn't want my kids to get sick of my favorite band, Reliant K, but they don't really listen to it. It's like, hey, listen to this. And they're like, huh, yeah, that's cool. I like it. I'm going to go listen to this other thing, though. It's just like...
Yeah, they're being nice.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't know. I digress. Okay, so was there anything else that you got?
That was it.
All right. I did a thing.
Uh-oh.
I drive so they listen to what I put on. Yep, that's right. That's right. That's exactly how it should be. I finally opened my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ah, finally. Did you make a space to put them? Because that's my problem. Oh, nice.
And it's just, these are so freaking awesome. I'm extremely happy with them.
So do you also have, because I don't remember, because we're going back a few years, do you also have the first versions of those movie NECA Turtles from the first movie?
No, I did not.
You don't.
I got Raphael in the trench coat. But I didn't get any of the others. So that I was like banking on Secret of the Ooze, and it's just like, yes, they finally did it. So I bought the special VHS package looking thing, and it was just, I finally cracked it open today. I'm just like, all right, this was worth it.
I remember that because I remember I was in
Touchdown.
Walmart.
Yeah.
I was in Walmart like way after everybody else got the first ones, and like I have the set of the first ones from the very first release when they were exclusive to GameStop. Like I have those, and then they came out with 2-packs, and they were showing up at Walmart. I'm like, well, dang. You know, that's kind of a good deal. And people were saying, oh, they came with the long bandanas and the short bandanas. I'm going, well, damn, I kind of want those, you know? And I remember we were talking and you were like, yeah, but my turtles are the Turtles 2, Turtles Secret of the Ooze versions. And I'm like, they got to make those. They have to.
Exactly.
It's like a head swap away.
Yeah, it was years away before they finally teased. They just had like all the different heads painted up on a plate, and it's just like on some artist's table, and it's just like them. And they
right. And at that point, I remember us going, "Dang, do I need to track down those original turtles for you?" And then, are they going to do just because if they do just the heads pack, and I'm like, that's kind of crappy for the people that didn't buy the first ones, though.
Right.
So
I'm glad they released it. So
thankfully, it's it was a full release. It's exactly what you wanted.
Yes.
So you have the Turtles. You got the box set. Do you have Shredder from the second movie?
I have Super Shredder.
So you have Super Shredder, not the version of him before mutation. So you got you probably have the first version of him from the first movie though, right? You don't. You don't have any. I remember I sent you a Splinter, so I know you have a Splinter.
Yeah, I have Splinter and I have Casey Jones.
So I won a Splinter from another show that I used to watch that is no longer they don't do anymore. It was a live, not auction but claim. It was a claim sale sort of thing through Omega Level Toys and Saleosaurus. So they would come on Friday nights and banter back and forth like we're doing and sell some toys for some really good deals, and they would say, I need this much for this, and you would go, I claim that, and it was yours. You had to beat everybody else though. So I guess I claimed enough during one of those shows where I was entered in the drawing for that Splinter, and coincidentally enough, it was on Father's Day or around Father's Day. I'm like, oh my God, I already have a Splinter. What am I going to do with this other Splinter? I'm like, Dustin doesn't have a Splinter. Let me send it to him. So that's why I said, I know you have Splinter.
Yep. I have Splinter. I got Toka and Razor.
Yep.
And
I remember I got those for you too.
Yeah.
I got them straight from NECA.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a fun pack. I got this thing.
I gave NECA like an ultimatum because they were talking some crazy stuff on how they were going to release those two. And I'm like, no, NECA, you don't understand. If you don't make this available to everybody, like I'm done with you. So I guess enough people backed me and was saying, you know, similar things because I kept getting notifications like. I'm going, please stop. You're driving me crazy. I just said what I said, you know. But thankfully, NECA was like, yeah, we'll do a pre-order for this. So everybody that wants it will get it. Okay, chill.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
good times.
I still want to get Shredder with the serrated edge, the one that was Secret of the Ooze main bad guy before he went Super Shredder.
Never seen it. Never seen it in hand. I've never been in the same building as one, as a matter of fact. Like, and if it was, somebody else had it and they bought it. I never saw it. Because trust me, like, I think that's a cool design too. I'd have got it.
It's so cool.
Yeah, no, but maybe one day we'll track them down.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I have ways to hopefully trade for one if someone ever wants to give it up. But, dude,
I haven't even looked the secondary market, so I don't know what they're going for.
Yeah, no, me either. I'm too lazy because, well, I guess I shouldn't say I'm lazy per se. I am, but I also don't like being tempted because it's like if I see it, it's just like, oh, it's right there. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I should buy it. I should buy it.
Yeah.
And it's like, as I rip out my earbud.
It's tangled in your mane.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's not all I got.
Oh,
I have more.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, I'm stepping all over your.
So I got that. I showed all the 4 turtles. Okay. I'll do this because it's here. I went to a birthday party, and my buddy hooked me up with a couple cards. Magic the Gathering cards.
Oh.
So he gave me this one. It's Void Slime. And it does cool things if you actually play the game or know what it's about. And then he also found this one and gave it to me. I just picked this up today. This is Mantle of the Ancients. So that's a really good card for one of my favorite decks that I usually play. And then he suggested this card. So I happen to have $3 and picked this up. Kasarigama. And it's equipment and it does fun things for, my stuff, not your stuff. It's that type of game. Yep. So yeah, that's boring for a majority of people, but and then he also gave me
I used to play card games.
2 glow in the dice dark 2 glow in the dark dice. As I drop them.
We both can't talk tonight.
Right.
Purple people peeper.
Purple peeper. Peeper. Okay, and all right. So to transition a little bit, if you guys watched or followed their channel, last time I got to talk with the author and main project lead of Hall of Omens, Buddha, and he's a really cool guy. We had a fun chat, and got to geek out on Thundercats, which leads me to my pickup. I picked up the latest issue of the comic book.
Oh, nice! It's that time again, huh?
Yeah. So that was issue 2.
These come out monthly or weekly or
monthly?
Bi-weekly? Monthly. Okay.
Yeah. So that's issue 2. That was last month. And then I also picked up Thrawn Alliances. I'm following that story.
So there are 4 cover variants, and you had to buy all of them.
No, those are Those are individual issues.
I'm joking. Yes.
Brilliant artwork. And then this is the latest issue. The Thunder Tank. It's pretty sweet on there. This issue they introduced Snarf. And
who's Snarf?
What?
I'm sorry.
You threw me off.
That look was priceless.
I'm like, wait, are you just messing around? Or are you being serious with me?
No. It's like you were trying to.
It's entirely possible I said the wrong thing, so I was giving you the benefit of the doubt.
No. I'm just messing with you, man. It was like you looked at the camera like, did he say what I think he said?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this guy. Oh no, I knocked over everything. Oh well. Oh no. So yeah, I picked that up. So yes, they introduced Snarf. And it has an interesting take on it. They didn't change the character that much. He is all black with yellow fur. He's black with yellow fur on around his eyes and stuff. Like his face here, instead of it being white, is black. And I'm showing you that, and I could just show you the picture in the comic, but whatever. You can look it up if you really care enough to look at it. But instead of being that obnoxious comedy relief character, they have it to where he is bonded to Lion-O. Like they have a mental bond that they shared when Snarf was born or assigned to Lion-O, that he can only hear. He's the only person that can really hear Snarf. Other people are just like, oh, what did Snarf say? And they have looked to Lion-O for translation. And he's just like, well, that's a good point, Snarf. It's a lot like Chewbacca with Han.
Right.
It's that type of relationship where people are translating for Snarf. But, of course, it's a language that they can actually learn. Chewbacca, Kashyyyk, can actually learn. Whatever. I'm not even going to try to say it. It's Shriuk is what it's named. I'm sorry. I'm getting all flustered and off topic.
I'm waiting for you to work through it, buddy.
Yeah. And so it's a language they can actually learn in Star Wars versus there's no way to bond with Snarf on that level to actually be able to hear what he's saying. So it's like they sort of tried to tone it down, but at the same time still give Snarf the acknowledgement, like he can still bring up good points and point out things to Lion-O, because he did in the show that would make Lion-O go, huh, well, maybe we could do this, and it's just like, so it's interesting that they did that. So I'm looking forward to see how they take it. How deep it goes, I guess. The rabbit hole goes.
It kind of, to me, the way you're explaining it almost sounds like they combined how the original Snarf character was with when they did the reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Because with that Snarf, he was just like a cat. Like,
yeah, he was just a cat, and he, but and the other thing is, I'm waiting to see if they introduce some aspect of Snarf that is like an homage to the Snarf on Thundercats Roar.
Okay,
because
so
that Snarf,
I haven't seen that, so you'll have to explain.
Yeah, so that Snarf was outrageous. So he could carry all of Lion-O's stuff. He was practically the shield, if you think of it. He was essentially the shield that could be on Lion-O. But he wasn't physically. Like he would just latch onto Lion-O's arm and he would be the shield. And then he also had like these weird techno modifications, like his tail would turn into a rocket and he would just blast the crap out of someone. And it's just like, whoa, that's cool. He was more useful than the 80s cartoon. So it feels like that, but
more useful,
again, more like the 2011 Snarf. And because he was just a cat, and he's essentially just a cat, but yeah. So that's fun.
Oh boy.
I'm looking forward to see where they go. I don't know if anyone cares about spoilers. I don't even know if anyone's watching. However, I get it. But they introduced and they made this huge deal about Calica, this new Thundercat. And I'm telling you right now, it's basically a distraction for Lion-O. And it's to like drive division between Lion-O and the core team of Thundercats. Because, you know, it's a wedge. Like they're trying, Mum-Ra is controlling her. So it's like Pum-Ra, when he disguised himself as a Thundercat, a long lost Thundercat, Pum-Ra, also crash landed here, blah, blah, blah. It's like Calica, only they did a female version of her for this. And it's like, I get where this is going, but let's move on. Like, I didn't personally find the Pum-Ra thing to be like super scary, or I know we're talking years later, but it wasn't exciting to me. Like I just feel like there's so many ways that he could have been like looked through the Sword of Omens and not seen her, but instead saw Mum-Ra disguised as him or something. But so it's just
right.
It seems like they forced this new character on everyone, and you know they've made subtle changes here and there, but by and large I'm good with it for the most part. But I'm really anxious for this Calica story to just see it through. It's just like, let's just move on through. And it's only out. There's only 3 issues out of it, so it's like, how long is this story arc gonna run? Like, it's gonna if it maybe goes 12 issues, and it's like you're still not seeing the end of Calica. It's like, gee, boy.
Maybe not the end, but kind of move on, can we?
yeah. It's just like, okay, either accept her, because Panthro is, you know, hard against it. Like, he's like, hey, we're about to have a meeting in this basically the Hall of Omens, and it's like sacred Thundercats treasures. That's where their weapons and all this stuff are at. It's their weapons vault and more, but it also has treasures from before. And he just is like, hey, you want to go see this, Calica? And it's just like, because Lion-O is young and love, and everyone's like, oh, we can smell the pheromones. We know you're into her. You know you want to jump her bones, but look, dude, there's a time, you know? So and so Panther is wanting to exercise caution. Lion-O's like, gung-ho, let's have her play date. Let's have her be part of the family and all that stuff. And it's just like, she hasn't been vetted, you know? It's just like, because Tigra, or not Tigra, but Panther is like, dude, come on, man. Work with me. So I don't know. They're button heads, but hopefully, if you enjoy it, you that random explanation, you'll at least want to intrigue and pick it up and listen to it, read it,
something,
whatever. But anyway, so that's everything that I got.
You got a lot this week. Well, 2 weeks worth of stuff.
It's 2 weeks worth of stuff because I technically picked up the comics last weekend.
I've kind of been waiting for this because the roles are reversed here. Like, you got a lot of stuff, and I just got the one thing. I'm like, damn, man, you got more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and
awesome.
So, well, plus it didn't help that I had 4 turtles that came with this package. So it's just like,
well, I mean, when a wave comes in, a wave comes in.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, but
I'm really glad you got those turtles, though. So
me too, dude. They're so cool, and I think I'm just gonna slip them into the case over here, right with my Splinter, Super Shredder, Toka Razor, all that. Just put them in there. I'm just gonna put them on that shelf in there. Just like, that's fine. They don't have to be displayed. I'll want to play with them, sure, but I about damn near had a heart attack. I thought I broke Mikey's leg off. Mikey? Oh. Yeah. It was Mikey, and I was bending his leg, and the entire freaking leg just popped off, and I'm just like screamed like that, and my kids are like, "Oh, is that okay?" And it's just like, "Oh, okay, good. It snaps back on. Oh, thank you."
Well, you do have to be careful with those. They are NECA.
Yes. Yeah. So, right. Which is why I feared the worst. That's why I feared the worst. But it works exactly like the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles you remember as a kid. So there is a ball socket in there, and it just snaps right on. It's that easy. I don't want to do it too often, though. So definitely still want to be careful. But I like it. I like this. I do. And it'll be fun to play around and pose and stuff. It came with a sewer. That's the background of the. I'm getting off topic. It came with the background of the sewer, and then it also came with like a trifold club where they go ninja.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, that is so cool. It's just like, now I see the need for Vanilla Ice and Kino and all that stuff. It's just like, but I'm not going down that rabbit hole.
If you're going to go that far, then you need Kino and the Doctor too. So
right. Which I don't plan on doing. April. Yeah, no, I haven't got April, but
it's different April, so.
Yeah,
and they haven't made her. So.
Yeah, that's true. They've only made Judith Hogue, not the other one. Patty, no.
But they did make Kino.
They did, and he comes with a foot soldier, which is nice. But yeah, I haven't done that yet. But yeah, anyway, I don't plan on it. My only goal, and I'll consider it complete, is to get that shredder with the serrated edge on the point. That's what I want. That's it. And I'll be like, yep, this line is done. Because I already said, okay, this line is done for Power Rangers. I got my main Rangers. It's like, okay, this line's done.
So you're not gonna go for the accessory pack?
What accessory pack?
So they've got an accessory pack for Secret of the Ooze.
I got it.
I don't remember everything that's in it, but it comes with a demutated Toka and Razor.
Yep.
Oh, you have it?
Yep, I do.
You have it.
Yeah, it came the same time as it came the same time as the actual Turtles.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know.
it felt
I
the same
forgot
way.
you ordered it.
Yeah. So he's got potato chips. He's got Raph tied up with the duct tape. You got the Slurpee cup and the candy crisp that he's crunching on. He's like, "Hey, Mikey, you think you can crunch any louder? I can still hear out of this one." Yeah, and the keyboard where it's like full volume. Yeah. Yep. I got it. Excuse me. I had that, but
Too funny.
yeah.
Right.
That's
Maybe we should talk about the movies.
Yeah.
At this point.
it's 41 minutes in.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the movies.
So you had some extra time to catch these movies if you didn't get to watch them in that first week, largely due to, that's my fault. I had a side quest to go on. So
yeah. Understandable.
So Showtime. You had never seen this movie, right?
Nope.
So first thoughts before we get into it.
I was surprised. I didn't even really know that Robert De Niro had been in like a more comedy type role before, outside of like Meet the Fockers and that whole trilogy of movies. But I was just like, oh, that's weird. Okay, but I'll roll with it. And it oddly worked. But
well, he played to his strengths. He was a no nonsense. Not a funny guy, but it's funny situational. Because I mean, at the beginning of the movie, when we see him, he's talking to a group of preschoolers or whatever, and he's telling them, it's not what you see in the movies. I'm not jumping on car
over the hood of the car.
There's no car explosions and high speed chases, and everything he says he doesn't do, he ends up doing eventually.
It's
but
great.
Yeah, he's just trying to do his job. And in a just moment of happenstance, these two cops that don't know each other, that don't know one's undercover. You got Eddie Murphy, who's the hotshot cop, wants to make a name for himself. He's trying to get into acting. He's going to auditions. He runs into, Robert De Niro's character, who's on the cover at the time, sees his sidearm and thinks that he's going to make this bust on this guy. He's suspicious or whatever, and it all goes wrong, and it gets caught on camera by news crews who shouldn't even be there but are. They
got called. Oh, because he called it in on the radio,
and the radio over the police scanner and the news stations picked it up and like, hey, something's going down, get over there. So all hell breaks loose on this undercover operation for drugs, and they end up clashing, and it gets caught on camera. And Robert De Niro's character, he's telling this camera guy, get the hell out of here, there's gunfire going off and everything, and the camera guy won't leave. He's saying, this is my job, and he just destroys the camera. And they've got that footage. It gets aired on TV, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is like he's the Dirty Harry cop. He's badass. He's kicking ass and taking names, and he just wants to be left alone. Like, shut the hell up, leave me alone, get out of my face." So they totally misread the situation, but these producers get a hold of all of that, and they're like, "Well, you destroyed our equipment, so you kind of owe us. We're going to sue you, or you can do a reality television show, this buddy cop sort of thing." And he's totally against it the whole time. And that's him and Eddie Murphy end up becoming partners on this thing. And hilarity ensues because the whole time Robert De Niro's character doesn't want anything to do with any of it. They're like trying to make this reality TV show, but his reality is so depressing that they can't show it on TV. They're like, oh, we got to spice this up. Our research shows that buddy cops, they live in visually interesting areas, like
so they replace his furniture and stuff. He's like, I want my old TV back.
Yeah, they go through and remake his whole apartment that he lives at. He's like, no, put everything back. You want me to cooperate with you? You put everything back, and that's how you do it. And they get him a dog. He's got a German Shepherd that was a retired drug dog named Powder. And Powder's got his nose in a potted plant that's got like white rocks in it or whatever. And he says, yeah, he looks like a drug addict. And the dog's face is covered in the white stuff. And
right.
Eddie Murphy's character is like, oh, hey, Powder. And the dog's like, and they're like, okay, get the dog out of here. He's like, no. I like his instincts. Let's keep the dog around. It was perfectly done the way that they did this. And everything, the way everything worked, like everything he did not want to do, he ended up doing anyway.
Yeah, he ended up doing it
out of just did it for me.
The obligation. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he'd sniff out a camera a mile away too. Hidden cameras didn't matter. He'd find them. And the whole time, the camera guy's going, he's got this thing about cameras. He hates cameras. I don't know what he's destroyed so many of our cameras. Did you, I'm going to skip forward to the end when the credits roll. Did you see the outtakes?
I don't think the movie was on long enough for that.
There's like these behind the, these outtake things or whatever. And like in almost all of them, like Eddie Murphy's cutting up, he's doing something or whatever. And in the background, you hear Robert De Niro, get that camera out of here. And everybody it's in almost every single outtake. Get that camera out of here. There's like the scene where they come up with the name for their show, where Eddie Murphy's
Showtime.
character, he's in the office. He says, I take 3 breaths, and I tell myself, Showtime. So there's an outtake of that, and he's doing it, but he's making different faces, like he's doing different takes or whatever. And by the third one he does, you get that camera out of here.
Yeah. I thought that was closer to the earlier part of the movie, but I didn't realize that was in the credits. I just was watching it. But
no, it's like either right before the credits or during the credits they show it or something.
Yeah.
But I guess it depends on where you stream it too. So, but I stayed with it. Like Tubi does this thing when the movie's over, it'll pop up suggestions for it, and you've got like 15 seconds to make a decision or dismiss it.
Yeah.
So I always dismiss it because I'm a glutton for punishment. I go through the credits. You never know when there's this hidden gem somewhere.
Right. And I always try to stick around to the end of the credits too, just because, especially in recent years, Marvel has ruined us for that. It's like, okay, just skip to the good part and then like cut out the, but I get it.
Yeah. Like there was even something in at the end of Frozen in the credits. It wasn't spoken. It was in the credits. So if you were not reading what was on the screen, I don't even remember what it was. It was something that Anna said to what's his name? The male, like the guy she ends up with.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something that she said to him, like all men do something or whatever. And in the credits, it says something to the effect of, regardless of what Anna thinks, all men don't, whatever it was. And I caught that the first time I was watching it with my girls. I'm going, did I read what? So we stopped and I'm like, look at that. That's funny. Like how many people caught that?
Yeah, I don't think I did.
It wasn't animated. It was just in black and white in the credits.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I caught it. And I've seen that movie 1,000 times.
It's there. So if you still got, Disney or whatever, go just fast forward through the movie, go to the credits and start looking. I think it's kind of close to the end. It's like where you would see, no animals were harmed in the making of this movie and all that jargon. It's somewhere in like that area.
Okay.
I wish I could remember exactly what it was, but we're talking, a few years ago when that movie.
Oh yeah.
But
I just know the cutscene, or not the cutscene, but the thing where Olaf basically does the recaps of the movies, and it's like, oh yeah, that was funny. It's like, yeah, I've seen that. But
yeah, no, this is something totally different.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this movie, I don't even remember where I saw it. It was probably just on when I had cable TV, and there was late night, whatever, and I was doing something like I always am. And I think it caught my attention enough that I stopped and I was watching it, because it's one of those where it's like Robert De Niro and Eddie Murphy made a cop movie. What?
Right.
So it's like you're scrolling through the selection of what are you going to watch? What grabbed your attention? And this movie is not it, but it will if you just start playing.
Right.
It's funny. It's suspenseful. What you think is going to happen doesn't in a couple of situations.
Yeah.
Now, it's not without gripes, I will say. Like, at the end of the movie with the bad guy, he's got this big badass gun that's armor piercing. He can blow chunks in armor covered vehicles or with it or whatever, know. And they're in that skyscraper, they're at the penthouse, and they get him and he shoots through the ceiling or whatever, and there's a swimming pool up there, and then there's no water, and it's like, wait a minute, you just blew like 8 holes in the ceiling that a swimming pool is up there. That water is going to come down immediately. It's like 30 seconds. Like,
I was going to say, because it did.
Drips. Yeah, no, you start seeing little drips, and then all of a sudden this torrential pouring of water, like the ceiling breaks apart. It's like, no, you don't understand how water weight works, okay? That's going to happen immediately. The first hole there's going to be so much water come through that you're not going to be on your feet. You are not going to be walking around. Water pressure is no joke. So that's one of my gripes about this movie.
It is like, a grape, but
this is like the exploding oxygen tank at the end of Jaws. Like, that's not really going to happen that way. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's and there's other little things that I could sit and nitpick about, but I'm not. It's a movie. It's entertainment.
Yeah, it was. And I thought it was still a fun watch. So.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of jokes that they're dated for the time when this movie came out. There's things that Eddie Murphy says that if you haven't followed his career to that point, like if you haven't seen any of his stand-up comedy specials and some of his other movies, there are references to other movies that Eddie Murphy has been in this movie that they're subtle, but they're there. And my tag here tonight is one of them. This was like a running thing that he would do. And I don't even remember how it started, but the 2 drops of pee thing. I don't but he says it in the movie, and I caught it. I'm going, oh my God, I remember that.
I don't remember what it was from, but I remember he said it.
I think it started, he was telling some story in one of his stand-up comedy specials or whatever, and the crowd just erupted in laughter the first time he said it. And it was kind of like the Arnold Schwarzenegger "I'll be back" sort of thing. And it stuck for a little bit, and then he like it went away. He didn't say it no more, so it just kind of faded away. So anyway, that's but there's things in it that,
holy crap, wait a minute.
Yes,
I think he says that in Milan.
Are you sure? I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen that one.
When we're talking
dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow, dishonor on your family.
I don't know, maybe he didn't, but it seems like something he would say in that movie.
Oh, he does say it. I just don't. I love like the Beverly Hills Cop movies. Like when I was a kid, I loved those movies. Like and when that Neutron Dance song would come on, when it was like an action scene or whatever, like that music would be in my head as a kid while I'm in school, like trying to get through my work and stuff. You know? I'm like, like it was cool at the time, you know. I'm going, oh my god, you know, what am I doing? No, but I loved the first one. The second one was cool, and I think they're making another one. I think I saw somewhere where there's going to be another. There's Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yeah, I think
it's
on
still
Netflix.
In the works. Maybe it came out. I don't know. I don't have Netflix anymore.
It's not on Netflix yet, but I think it's coming soon. But I still need to go back and watch the first two to refresh. So
yeah, like at first I thought it was going to be a series. Like I thought they were going to do a series. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, I'm going to look forward to that. And I'm like, oh wait, no, it's a movie. Still cool. I still want to see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no. Anyway, so Showtime, it's cool. It's a cop movie. It's a buddy cop movie. It's comedy. It's drama. It's an action movie. It's cool. Watch it if you haven't seen it.
It feels very much like I don't know, what is that movie? Rock Hard? I don't know. It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Kevin Hart.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it.
But yeah, it reminds me a lot of that. But I don't know. It's a fun movie, like I said.
Well,
and
I mean, it fits in with that genre of like the one you just mentioned. And then you have like Rush Hour with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. So, I mean,
oh my God,
it kind of fits in that main, vein of those types of movies. I mean,
do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you like those movies, if you're watching this show or whatever, you stumbled into it and you're like, what the hell are they talking about? Like,
I know,
never heard of this movie, Showtime. Look it up. You'll enjoy it. If you like them other movies, you'll like this one.
Yep. Exactly right. Excuse me. And all right, so let's hit Last Action Hero. We're at 58 minutes, so but it's fine. It's fine. That's fine. That's the end of our show. Whatever. No.
What else are you gonna do?
I know, right?
So let me start off by saying this. This movie is not. It's not to be taken seriously. It's a parody movie, not taking itself too seriously about being a parody movie, but still a good action flick. So
it felt like Warriors of Virtue or Sidekicks.
No, I don't agree with you there.
No. Hang on. I'm going to explain.
Okay.
It reminded me of Warriors of Virtue in the fact that they started in one place, ended up somewhere else, and that's where the main story played out. Or Sidekicks, where it had the Chuck Norris and the kid that died suddenly on purpose or accidentally, whatever. We did a review of it. Bo and I did back in the day. So if you're watching this, go check that out. That was fun. But what was I saying?
So it starts out, you got this kid, we're in the real world, and then he gets transported to a fantasy type of situation.
Exactly.
So
it's like that. Yeah. So that's how
I'll agree with that.
So that's how it sort of correlated for me. I mean, I've seen this movie. I own it on DVD, but I don't think I've ever really watched it. Either that or I was watching it with like new eyes because I had already forgotten all my past lives and memory and stuff like that. Because I remember I've seen it. I have it on DVD, but I'm just like, huh, interesting. This reminds me a lot of Sidekicks. And it's just like, okay, this is cool. So we're plugging along, and it's very. Oh, it's also sort of like, well, it's also sort of like Princess Bride, where it's someone telling a story to a kid, but about a different fantasy world. So it's also sort of like that. So it's just like, okay, it's had brought up some reminiscent feelings for me, and I'm just like, okay, all right, let's see where this goes. So it got crazy. It has oh, I forget his name. Tywin Lannister, from Game of Thrones. He's in it,
right?
And Arnold and all that other stuff. So, excuse me. But yeah, so it's this kid who's cutting class, behind his mom's back, and he develops this like friendship with a local movie theater screener, that someone who runs the theater. And so he's always getting in movies, which I was actually friends with someone like that, and I watched so many movies during that time period. It was outrageous, but it's just like, that would be the coolest thing. Like, okay, again, this is a side hop topic, but I just want to open a movie theater and watch all the movies. I'll stream them, watch them. It's like, I just think that would be so much fun. It's not too complicated, but anyway, that's besides the point. So yes, he does this thing, and the other thing happens, and then it all blows up and goes away. So long story short, he gets in trouble for missing class and all that stuff. Naturally, it comes back on him, and this movie theater guy says, "Hey, here's a ticket. You should come to the opening show, the first show of this Arnold movie. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that I forget the name of the character, but they both liked him, and they're quoting all the other movies and stuff like that. So it's like, I don't know, like if you think back to like my friend David or Zach with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he's just like obsessed with that type of movie and like always talking about that type of stuff. So yeah, they were quoting him and doing all this stuff, and they're like, oh, and then he does this with that part, and he's like, oh, here's a ticket, and they rip the ticket, and
so the ticket's from Harry Houdini,
right?
So the old guy who's running the theater, the projectionist, he says, look, I got this ticket when I was your age,
right?
From Harry Houdini. Harry Houdini did a show here back in the day.
Yeah.
And he said this ticket was given to him by I forget who the middle guy was, and that guy got it from like a Tibetan monk or something.
Yeah.
And they said it's a ticket to another world.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been curious about it, but I've been too afraid to do anything with it.
Yeah.
And now it's yours. So then he tears the ticket in half, gives the kid his stub, says enjoy the movie. Kid's sitting there watching the movie, and the ticket activates itself.
Yeah.
And during this action scene of Jack Slater being chased by some of the bad guys in a high-speed car chase, very typical of action movies of the day. The guys chasing him are throwing everything at him. Like, I'm surprised the kitchen sink didn't make a pair.
Yeah.
They threw like a bundle of dynamite sticks.
Yes.
And Arnold's character, Jack Slater, just turns around with this big hand cannon, and he like shoots the sticks of dynamite. Like that wouldn't make them blow up. But they come through the silver screen into the real world, and the kid's sitting there like, this isn't happening, and it is happening, and it blows up, and it blows him into the movie.
Yeah.
And he ends up in the back of Jack's car during this high-speed chase. Jack's like, well, who the hell are you, kid? And he's like, I don't know how I got here. all of this outrageous stuff is going on. There's this old-timey red pickup truck, and you've got, the bad guys are standing up in the back with the machine guns and going after him.
Right.
And he's, they're throwing more dynamite at him, and they're causing car accidents all around them and all this kind of stuff. And the kid, they get to like this one area that looks like a Hollywood like back alley behind the scenes sort of place where they're going to end up doing, playing chicken. Yeah. And he's like, I'm in the movie. This is a movie set. Look, So the whole time he's trying to convince Arnold's character Jack that this is a movie, but to Jack,
it's real life.
This is reality.
Right.
Like, this is it,
Yeah.
So all these outlandish things happen in action movies. That's just an everyday function of Jack's life. In the movie, it's normal for him. Shit just happens. And they're in, they go to the precinct and the chief is chewing his ass and smoke's coming out of his ears at some point, and he's like, well, who's this kid? And they're trying to figure out who the kid is, and the kid's saying, we're in a movie, this is a movie, and he's like, look, there's a cartoon cat. There's an animated
that's a good guy. He saved my back multiple times.
Like he was only suspended for a month. He's supposed to be back. And he's like, no, you don't get it. A cartoon character just walked in, and he's like, and Jack says, and he'll do it again tomorrow. And Danny DeVito is the voice of this animated cat.
Which I love that.
That's hilarious. I was howling with laughter.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten about this cat. So, but anyway, so all this outlandish things happen. So before Danny ends up in the movie, he gets to witness the opening scene of the movie, which, is the big bad guys. And they're, of course, explaining their plan to Jack's second cousin, this old man, and they're torturing him and interrogating him and trying to find out, I don't know, something from this old man. Like, who is this old man? What the hell would he know?
Right.
So, and that's
it's
where,
a movie plot.
Right. So, and that's where we see, and I don't know the guy's name either, so I'm just going to say Tywin Lannister, but the actor that plays this character, that's where we see him, and we, hear his name as the audience through Danny, the kid. So Danny's absorbing this information before he ends up in this movie.
Yep.
In the meantime, Jack's second cousin, the old man, dies, from big movie explosion, which led to the car chase, which led to Danny in the movie. And Danny's like, okay, fine. I can prove this is a movie. I know where the bad guys are. Just start driving and I'll point the house out. And he does. He finds the house. They're just driving down the street. He's like, it's that one. Walk up to the door. And Jack is like, yeah, this is ridiculous. It's so knock on the door. Like it works
in the movies.
Right. The butler answers, what can I do for you? And Jack says, we're out arresting drug dealers. May I speak to the drug dealer of the house? And the butler goes and gets the guy. This guy, that the Tywin Lannister actor guy, he's got a glass eye. So Danny's like, no, look, he's got a glass eye and it's got like a crosshairs on it.
Right.
So this guy's like, who is this kid? He's got glasses on, so you can't see his eyes. So Jack's like, I'm gonna need you to remove your glasses, and he won't do it. So there's this back and forth between them. That's the very typical macho action movie kind of lingo going back and forth between these two guys. And at one point the villain, he snaps his fingers, and there's this group of Rottweilers that show up, and he's telling them, if you don't leave, you're going to have to deal with the dogs. He snaps his fingers again, and you hear rustling in the background. The dogs are standing in a pyramid. There's one on top of the other stacked up. And he says, if I snap my fingers again, you're going to be passing through several dog rectums by this time tomorrow. And Jack's like, well, I've just got two questions for you. And I don't remember what the first question was or whatever. But the second question was, and how are you going to snap when I tear off both of your thumbs? At that point, the guy was like, okay. So he lowers his glasses and he tells him, have a nice day or whatever. And it's his eye has changed. It's a little smiley face instead of the crosshairs.
Right.
But then he hears Danny, the kid, because he's standing there with him, say something that, nobody should know because there was nobody else around. Right. So that prompts that villain to dig into the kid. Who's this kid? How does he know this stuff?
Right.
So they go after the kid. More explosions, more shooting happens and everything. And this guy ends up with Danny's ticket.
Yeah.
And at the time, Danny's like, okay, no, we got to get this ticket back. How am I going to get home without this ticket?
Right.
But then worst case scenario happens, like the events of the movie start playing out. And Danny the whole time is like, okay, I'll help you stop all of this stuff. It's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But we need to catch up with this guy and get this ticket back because it's my way home. In the meantime, this side villain that we've been talking about isn't even really the main villain. There's like another guy that's his boss that he can't stand. So the main boss has this plan to wipe out all the mob families in the area. So he's the top dog. So the Tywin Lannister guy, he's his henchman, he's his lackey. He can't stand that this idiot, because he says all of these catchphrase things and they're always wrong.
Right.
And he's always trying to correct him. And
make like a tree and leave type thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's telling him, well, you failed me before. You had Jack in front of the 8-ball before. And he's like, it's behind the 8-ball, you cretin. So things happen. He kills the big boss guy after the big boss's guy's plans get thwarted by Jack and Danny. But he still has that ticket with him. And it activates again inside the movie while it's in his possession. Mm-hmm. And there's like Twilight Zone music playing and shit while he's got his hand on the wall and it goes through. Yep. And he figures it out. He's like, this kid came from another dimension.
Yep.
And if he can travel through dimensions, then so can I.
Right.
But I'm a bad guy. And he goes into this like speech and he says, if God was a villain, he'd be me. So he goes, he's still sitting there for some reason, which I don't know why he didn't just go ahead and go on through, but he's sitting there in the mansion and Jack and Danny come crashing through the wall and they have this little exchange or whatever. And Jack grabs him and throws him against the wall. And he and the butler guy go through the wall instead of crashing through the wall. And Jack's like, usually when that happens, it leaves a hole. Where'd they go?
Yeah, right.
And then he's like, no, he's still got the ticket. They're in my world. Come on, we got to go. So he finally convinces Jack to go through. And so this whole movie's happening in Los Angeles.
Right.
They go through. They come out of the silver screen. Now they're in New York. They go outside. It's raining. It's nasty and all this, and Jack's like, how did we get in New York all of a sudden? And so he's going through. They see the bad guys, they try to run after him. He goes up to a car and tries to punch the window and it hurts.
And he's like, normally doesn't hurt.
Right.
Like, oh jeez.
So Danny's like,
maybe you're right.
You can't just punch through car windows without it hurting. That things are different here, So he's trying to warn him. He's trying to protect him and everything. So there's a game of chicken involved, and I laughed so hard. I thought 2 drops of pee was going to come out at that. The real world chicken, real world game of chicken with the cars, because it's when they hit head on, and you see both back ends of those cars go up and then come back down. That did it. I howled in laughter. There's a car horn still going on, and the kid, he's just standing there like, oh my God,
Yeah, he gets out of the car first. So.
Yeah. So Jack gets out of the car first, and the kid's chewing him out. He's like, no, this is a so-and-so car, blah, 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 safest rated car in America, and, airbag this and that. And he says, yellow checker cap, no airbag, and the butler's dead body is on the hood of the car through the windshield. Of course, the other guy got away, and he figures out how to jump in other movies. So he gets the villain from the previous Jack Slater movie, in the raincoat and the chainmail with his big axe, had something to do with his son dying and all that. Yeah. So all of that happens, and then they're gonna have like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jack Slater come face to face, and it's not what you think would happen. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, you're the best celebrity look-alike I've ever seen. You should, if you ever come over to Los Angeles, we can have you doing appearances at like shopping malls and shopping centers. Right. I'm like, what the hell kind of offer is that? But he's I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. And Jack turns and says, I don't want anything to do with you. You've ruined my life. He's this fictional character. Suddenly finds out that his life isn't real. Right. So he's got this problem with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, I don't like you. So, and it all goes through, and the bad guy, he does that typical, explanation of his plan. So, he's monologuing the whole time, and it's like, you're making movie mistakes, buddy. Yeah. You're in the real world now, and he's talking about getting like Freddy Krueger and Dracula and King Kong and Hannibal Lecter out of other movies and bringing them into the real world. And
he just like, he pitches that to them, and he's just like, here's a world where police don't respond immediately. Here's a world where
like when he gets out, like he's walking down the street and these two thugs like kill this guy, and you hear the one guy shout, take his shoes, and he's taken aback. He's like, take his shoes? Like, his shoes, really? And they do. They take the guy's shoes, and he's being approached by, this prostitute. Hey, you want to have a good time, all that sort of, and she's not pretty, like at all. Like, so you have to. So for that scene, I think some people might miss the subtleties of this, because previously in the movie, when Danny's trying to prove to Jack, hey, this is a movie, one of the things he said is there's no average women around. Everybody's a knockout. Everybody's a supermodel. There's no average women. And Jack just brushes it off like, kid, this is L.A.
This is L.A. Everyone's beautiful here.
So fast forward to this part of the movie, this villain, he's absorbing this information and seeing these strange sights never seen before to him. There's ugly people around, like truly ugly, unattractive people, and she's approaching him like that. And I mean, he was sensible about it. He was like, how old are you? Like, he wasn't like, the bad guy, oh yeah, come on, no, he was like, there's this well-dressed man. I mean, of course he's carrying around a gun with him, but he's like, how old are you?
Right.
But to put yourself in his shoes, he's seeing like unattractive people everywhere. So that in itself is a shock.
Yeah.
And then he sees the guy getting mugged, and the two thugs run off with his shoes, and they shot the guy. There was gunfire, and there was no sirens.
Right.
Like, nobody, and he even says
in the street,
there's no screams.
Yeah.
And he's looking at his watch. There's no cops. So he tests it out himself. He just walks up to a random guy working in a mechanic shop, says, hey, I need your help testing a theory. Blows the guy away.
Yep.
Kills the guy. He's standing in the middle of the street, fires his gun off again 2 more times, shouts out loud, I've just killed a man. I did it on purpose. I want to confess.
Yeah.
And then you hear this New Yorker somewhere above him open a window and
he's
say,
just
"Hey,
like,
buddy, shut the hell up." And he just kind of looks around like,
what?
"There's no
Just
cops
happened.
coming. I can do whatever I want here. This is
Exactly.
great." So that's kind of like, especially the scene where he's approached by that woman. I think that kind of, some people might miss that.
Mm-hmm.
They might see it and like, okay, yeah, no, why would he want anything to do with somebody like her? But no, think about it. Like, she was not attractive. She wasn't made up to look attractive in the movie, and that was on purpose.
Yeah.
So you've got all this stuff going on. And there's also another thing that I think some people might have missed. When the movie starts out, like the movie in the movie, there's all this hard rock music and guitars and stuff. And that carries through the movie, but the genre changes. It goes to classical music, but it's still played with, the electric guitars and stuff. And there's certain riffs that if you listen to classical music, you'll pick them up. And there's even a scene in the movie where Jack is talking to Danny's mom, and he's just talking. He's not trying to put the moves on her. He's not cracking jokes or one-liners.
Yep.
And the radio, they have the radio playing, and it's on a classical music station. And he hears a particular song that he likes, and he asks them to turn it up. And they say, "You've never heard classical music before? Do you like it?" And he smiles. He says, "I think I will." So for him, as a fictional character, like, he had never experienced that classical music. Everything for the soundtrack in his movies was, hard rock, or there was some rap in it. And, certain things like that. So even when they went to the real world, before that transition sort of kind of happens, and there's more classical, like hard rock classical music playing in the movie, but then it ramps up once they get to the real world. There's more of it. So I think that was a nice subtle little transition.
I think so too.
And it was through the entirety of the film. It wasn't just like they flipped the switch. It was seeded close to the beginning, and it just grew into what it was.
Yep.
So that's another thing that I really liked about it. Even though this movie makes fun of other action movies, and it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's still a good action movie within itself. It's layered. There are things, if you are a fan of action movies from, the late 80s, the 90s into 2000s, there are things in there that are put in there. Some of it, they faded away from as movies progressed in the years, but there's some of it, if you're a fan of those other older ones, you're going to catch. They're going to say things. There's one-liners from the moment the movie opens to the moment the movie closes. There's one-liners galore, which is another little tagline that they put in every single action movie. Every action star had some sort of catchphrase, and they even make fun of "I'll be back" in it a couple of times.
I like I said, I liked it. Overall, I think it was really a fun watch.
Yeah, it's not a snooze fest, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There's a few things where it's like, oh, that's goofy. Why did they?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
but it's some of it is done on purpose, because they're poking fun at how things were done back then.
Yeah.
Even like the La Brea tar pit scene.
Yeah.
Like where he falls in, and he's trying to get out. He's swimming through the tar. It's like just black water at that point.
Right.
But if you pay attention to the way it's rippling, there's like these hard lines coming from where he supposedly dropped in to the point where he's going to get out, to where, there's like, you could tell there's wood under that or something. So there's a clear path he's supposed to swim through. It's clearly visible. And he gets out and he starts wiping the tar off. And even the kid said, tar sticks to some people.
Right. Well, and then his daughter comes up, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, here's just completely clean."
She comes rolling up in that monster truck. Hey, I thought you could use some extra clothes. It's like, doesn't anybody find this convenient?
Yeah, convenient.
And even at that point, Jack says, "Well, kid, you always said this was a movie." But no, there's things like that.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it is
like some of the special effects are bad on purpose because they're making fun of it.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, it's a product of the time.
I don't have a specific example to point out, but I agree.
But no, it was a fun watch, I thought, and when I saw it, I'm like, oh, we got to do that one.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Okay.
So I don't have any picks for the next show because, again, I have a side quest I'm going on, so I unfortunately won't be back next week. So Dustin, do you have any movies that you might have in the queue?
Okay, so on Tubi there are.
So now I'm not going to be here, so it doesn't have to be Tubi. If you've got some other service that you've got something that you're like, oh, I gotta watch this. Or I want to get to that. So it doesn't have to be Tubi. I just chose Tubi because I was stuck with Tubi.
No, I get it, and I think it's good to do movies that are readily accessible somewhere. Right. And these just happen to be on Tubi.
So I've also tried Freevee. Am I saying that right? Freevee. Let me slow down. Sorry if my accent's throwing you off. No, I've tried that one, but there's this weird thing, and I don't know if it's my internet connection or because I'm using a Fire Stick to stream. I don't know if it's got to do because I've got an older version, but there's lag with it. Like the picture is ahead of the audio for some reason. So if I stop it, wait a few seconds, and then start it back up, it'll be in sync again. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. I'm not sure if anybody else has that problem with Freevee, but I have watched stuff on Freevee as well. There was one that I was like, ooh, we got to do that one because I'm not sure if anybody gave that movie a chance, but I don't want to mention it because, again, I won't be here next week. So, and then by the time I come back, I don't know if it's still going to be available. So I'm not even going to mention it.
Right. And let's see. I'm looking. Oh, hang on. My stuff. Duh. Where? I think you might like that. Have you seen Platoon or Big Trouble in Little China or
so
Tombstone?
I've seen all of those. Now Platoon, I don't know if I've watched it from start to finish, but I've seen bits and pieces.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, who hasn't seen Big Trouble in Little China? That's a classic.
I haven't.
You have? Come on! Who are you again?
I've never seen it. That's why I had it named it off because it's just like one of those things. Like, okay, here it is available. Like I've never seen Children of the Corn, never seen Tombstone, The Thing.
I don't even
Solomon
know you
Kane.
Anymore.
What?
I don't even know you anymore.
There's these movies that I haven't seen, but it's just like, all right, well, they're here.
I saw so I know Solomon Kane's on Tubi. I saw that and I bookmarked it and I watched it. I'd seen it already, but it had been a while. Like I didn't remember all of it. Kind of like how you were with Last Action Hero. like, I know I've seen that movie, and I just don't remember like most of it, and I didn't.
Yeah.
It's another one of those that kind of fits into like Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Yeah.
That sort of genre of feel of movie. So it kind of fits in with that. So, but yeah, no, it's dealer's choice here, man.
All right. I say, and we did all that talking about Tubi, but I'm actually thinking Netflix because I want to mix it up, go with something new that I might be able to get someone to watch with me. And there's a couple things. Where is it? The Bricklayer has Aaron Eckhart in it. Yeah. Have you seen Glass?
Glass. That's M. Night Shyamalan, right?
Yeah. James McAvoy, Bruce Willis.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep,
all right.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's in like what is it? Unbreakable, and then Glass, and then Split, then Glass.
Yep.
So, yep. Which
I was thinking
those are really good. Those are well done too.
Yeah, I really enjoy all of those.
You don't have to pick stuff that I haven't seen now because I won't be here.
I know. Well, I'm asking so that way you're.
Oh, I'll probably still watch them, and I might be heckling from the comment section next week. So, but no, it shouldn't be as hard as it is.
I know.
Don't worry about me. Like, yeah, I'm still gonna watch them. I just won't be on camera.
All right. There's a movie I haven't seen that I've been wanting to see. It's a terrible movie, or so I've heard. I've never heard anything good about it. No, we'll do. How about Rebel Moon and the first and second one, Child of Fire, and the second one just came out yesterday. The Scar Giver.
And this is on
Netflix.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Rebel Moon. The first one's called Child of Fire. Second one's called The Scar Giver. So that's my two new modern picks for people that aren't into the old 80s stuff like we are.
All right, you got your assignment.
Yep. See you next week. Until next time. Hey, where'd it go? If you get a chance, go pick this up. It's awesome read, awesome books, or awesome book, and great guy. Like I said, which you can get it here. Thundercats Toy Guide. You can order it, and there's only a few left. They've set aside stuff for shows coming up, but I know they're running out, and they will run out because it's it is what it is. I can't think of what I was wanting to say, but yeah. So I'll leave that up, and then you have your assignment. We'll talk to you next week. I may pull someone else in here. I may not. We'll see. Until next time.
Punch it. Let's get the hell out of here.
And oh wait, I need to do this. No wait, I need to do this. I don't. Ah, here we go.